Yeah, I'm old.
Hey guys, this is Braden Logue, your host of the Beer League Beauties podcast. We got Daniel on here today. He plays for the Danbury Hat Tricks. He just recently won a championship. Fed. Congrats on that, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, sweet to have you on here. So let's start off with your most recent stint with Danbury. So you guys won. You played with my buddy Brendan Dowler. How was it winning that championship?
Oh, it's awesome. Like I'm lucky enough to have been a part of a championship team before, and it was such a similar experience from right off the start. Like I remember going to my coach. It probably would have been my first or second week, and telling him we're going to win the championship just the room and how everybody was and how tight the guys were and stuff like that. And yeah, it was fun all the way through. We got to win lots of hockey games. We had lots of bonding, and we were tight as a team. We'd play wiffle ball and stuff when it was nice out, and it was a good experience. And I think anybody that was a part of the team that hadn't experienced something like that in the past, I think they'll realize how special it was, and understand what it really takes to win a championship, because the common denominator for me on every championship team is that I've been on is just the bond in the room. It was such a more important factor than what's obviously on the ice is important, but in the room it's the number one priority. So
Yeah, that was unreal to see the skate chug too.
oh yeah, the boot beer or whatever. I don't even know what they were calling it, but yeah, Chicklets posted it too. But yeah, it was a pretty good time. Brand new pair of skates. I don't know what I was thinking, but they don't stink like beer, so I'm grateful.
That's awesome, man. What did anyone tell you to do the skate chug or what? Was it just you?
No, I don't know. This was my bright idea. So I just seen beer and I was just thinking hockey. Yeah, I don't know. Just came up the boot. So yeah, it just kind of popped up and it happened. And then I just remember waking up in the morning like, oh no, I got to get to the rink and clean my skates like ASAP. Sprayed them with some vinegar and they were good to go. So
There you go. That's awesome. All right, so my next question is, clearly you've been fighting. You're a hard hitter. You score some goals here and there too, but when did you realize that, hey, this is the style I want to play? At what age did you find that?
I mean, I've always played tough. I actually always played. I was a D man my whole life. I only started playing it forward as a pro. So my first season as a pro, I think I've only played 4 seasons as a forward. This is my fourth season as a forward. So, when I was young, I just, I was a gritty player to begin with. In minor hockey, I had a couple fights. Obviously we were wearing cages, but there was a couple times where we got cages off and had a couple fights. And I played in a pretty gritty organization growing up, like kind of like a little farm town kind of spot. And there's a couple other really gritty organizations. And, when we'd play against them, they'd be tougher games. And every once in a while there was a fight. So like, I mean, my first really good hockey fight, I was 15, where our helmets came off. I actually had braces on too. I'm lucky I didn't get my teeth knocked out. But yeah, that was like my first real fight. And then I knew I kind of had something, but it was really when I got to junior tryouts when I kind of like tried it to see, like, I was kind of a bubble player, wouldn't have made the team if I didn't fight. And then I had a fight, and by no means was I a heavyweight, but I showed that I was willing to do it. And then I probably because of that got me over the hump and then made the team. And then as time went on, the next year I was kind of just a middleweight. The next season I kind of went middle. I was fighting heavyweights, but I was, maybe not winning. And then, my last couple seasons in the league, I started taking out the heavyweights, and then I kind of just became the guy. And then that was when I realized I had something, and then it kind of just grew from there, really. And confidence is a big thing, I think, and just the way you carry yourself. And then it kind of just came on, and I just learned a little bit more about the role as time went on.
Yeah. I saw a picture of it was Bogard on your Instagram. You're fighting Bogard in juniors.
Yeah, so that was in pro. That was in the Central League before it merged with the ECHL. That would have been, I think I was 22. So that was Aaron Bugard, so his
Yep.
younger brother. That was during the NHL lockout, so all the tough guys came down. So like our league was pretty much the AHL that year. So we
Wow.
had all the AHL tough guys. All these guys had NHL games. I fought Aaron Bugard, Kip Brennan, Eric Lizon, Klotz, everybody that came down from the A because all the NHL tough guys were on two ways, so they came down to the A during the lockout, and then all the A guys bumped down or whatever, um, and then I mean obviously there were some NHL guys too that were on one ways that couldn't go to the A, so they just came down to the Central because we were kind of an outlaw league at the time. They couldn't play in the coast, so we had. I was playing against Alex Martinez the year he after he won the Stanley Cup, so it's kind of cool.
We, um, oops. So is there a big mental toll, knowing that you have to fight guys every night?
I mean, yeah, I mean that's a part of it, right? Like that's what I'm taking on this weight that I'm trying to take off of my teammates, and that's what the role is. It's like what people always say, like, well, why is there a fighter? Like, why do you need that designated role? Why is there a tough guy on every team? And what's the benefit? It's like I'm literally taking the weight of that feeling off of my teammates' shoulders. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to feel that, and yeah, I'm gonna have to worry. Oh shit, I might fight tomorrow, or I'm gonna have to fight tomorrow night, or this is their tough guy, or yeah, that's it's a part of the game. I think I've learned to handle it a lot better nowadays than I did when I was in my younger days because I remember having sleepless nights when I was in the Central. I think I was 22 years old during the NHL lockout, and I would just have sleepless nights, and I'd just get to the game and I'd feel like crap because I hadn't slept, and I'm worried about, oh my god, I got to fight Bugard tonight or Lies on it, whoever it was, and I was 22 and I wasn't quite weathered or wasn't quite experienced to know, what I was even really doing yet. So, yeah, but I mean that's a part of the role. That's my skill. It's like it's its own unique skill in a sense. It's like being a sniper. Okay, there's a sniper. It's like, well, my skill, my role is to take that weight and figure out how to take the weight off my teammates' shoulders. So
Definitely need more guys like in this day and age. Hockey's getting soft as fuck, but
yeah, no
it's
shit. So
still
the
hard.
world in general.
Yeah, it's still hard with guys like you. You know, we need guys
Yeah,
like.
yeah. Couple guys still floating around. It seems like the pendulum's starting to swing a little bit again. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you start to see more toughness in the NHL maybe this year after, a couple of the toughest teams in the Stanley Cup kind of went to the end. So like I think like I mean, you guys have seen it in the past where, people see the Stanley Cup teams and how they were built and then everybody starts drafting that way.
Yeah,
So I think, maybe the pendulum will swing back a little bit, but it'll never be what it was. And obviously with Bettman and all the guys running the league now, it's just, it's not like what it was, but I definitely think there's a time and a place and there's definitely a role for a guy like myself and especially if they really know how to lean into it and really know how to affect everybody on the ice, it's a very effective tool.
yeah. All right, so I've been seeing this guy all over. I think his name's Schmidt, Ewan Schmidt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a tough motherfucker. Both of you guys, it's like two alphas going at each other. Um, can
Yeah.
you tell me what's going on with that? Is that like a rival, a friendly rival? And
He's like a friend. He's like one of my good friends, which is crazy. But yeah, I think we fought 3 or 4 times last season, maybe five even. We fought for like a minute long at center ice in Danbury the one night. I fought him twice that night, but like, off the ice we're friends. Like I would honestly kind of jumped him the one time. Like I was kind of pissed off. He went after Ojik and like at the end of the day, like I'm out here, it doesn't matter. Like this is my friend. Yeah, we're friends off the ice, but when it's business is business, like if I gotta handle something and take care of one of my teammates, like it's friends aside, and we're gonna have to sort it out after when we get up in the stands and we have to figure out, talk it out or whatever. But I came at him a little hot. Like we squared up originally, and then he came after one of my guys, and then I kind of jumped him, and he was upset about it, but at the end of the day, I'm just doing my job, and we sorted it out. We talked about it. I had a phone call with him and stuff after. I was actually sitting up with his girlfriend after. She's like, "Well, why'd you do that? Well, why'd you do that to him? You weren't supposed to do that." I'm like, "I don't know. It just happened." So yeah, it's a very unique relationship between me and Schmitty. So I'm not sure many would understand.
That's awesome. Scary. You guys are scary. I'll tell you that. I would not want to become with you.
Well, I mean, we came from we're a little bit older guys, so like we came from a place like when we were in junior, we had to deal with that every game, and there's not so many guys floating around now where every player on the ice has to be scared shitless. But I mean, that's how we grew up playing, so we kind of know what it's like, and we know the feeling, and we know how to lean into it. So it's very unique. We're like I say, a little bit older, so we're a little bit more used to it. But yeah, it's definitely an effective role.
Yeah. All right. I don't want to keep you on here too much longer, so I probably got 3 or 4 more questions to ask you. Um, one one starting with, so you're still at a very high level of hockey. What do you do, knowing that you're a fighter and stuff? What do you do to still propel your game? Do you train a lot? Are you on and off ice? What do you do?
Yeah, so like it kind of depends on what time of year it is for me, because like obviously I box too. So like if I have a fight coming up, I'm focusing mostly on boxing. I'm still skating and stuff, but like my gym regiment is more boxing orientated when I have a fight coming up. But I mean, right now my season's coming up. I don't have a boxing match till December. So right now I'm doing straight hockey oriented lifts in the gym. I'm on the ice every morning at like 6:30 in the morning, and then I lift after and stuff like that. So I mean, pretty much everything I'm doing right now is hockey orientated. I'm skating lots, doing lots of skill stuff in the mornings. But as far as like the fighting thing, like I don't really prepare anymore for like fighting in hockey other than boxing because I just do that anyways. But I'm not really doing a ton of like unique like hockey training or hockey fight training or anything like that. So I'm pretty much just doing skills practices and working on my skating and stuff like that. So
Nice. And all right. Guess you got to go back in the vault a little bit here, but do you have a video of your most gruesome fight? Do you remember that fight?
most like gruesome, like worse. I probably yeah, I was in Tulsa. I was playing for Tulsa, and I want to say I was fighting a guy named Constantine or something along the lines of Constantine, I think his name was. And I think I gave him 15 stitches across his forehead, and I gave him a few across his nose. Like it was bad. He was squirting like his pulse, like when his heart would like pulse would go, he'd just squirt blood. And he's like, you could see at the end of the video, I hit him like right near the end, and if you watch close enough, you'll see just a shot of blood come, like it almost pulsed out of his thing and landed right on my skates. You could see all the blood marks streak on the thing. But I would say that was probably like the most like real bloody, vicious beatings that I gave someone. But I mean, I've been on both ends of it, so
Yeah. All right, I got 2 more for you. Um, so you've been in a lot of other fighting leagues, like I think is it King of the Ice? It's
yeah, King of the Rink.
yeah, King of the Ring, sorry. So
Yeah,
you've been
yeah.
in that. How did you get onto that?
So yeah, that was AJ Galante. Kind of he was involved at one point, and then he was the one kind of who brought me. AJ Galante was obviously the Danbury Trashers guy. If you're not familiar, it's called Untold Crime and Penalties. He kind of, I connected with him, and then he wanted to bring me in, and then I was the major underdog. I was the smallest guy. I think everybody had 50 plus pounds on me, and multiple inches of height, and I ended up winning the whole tournament, and it kind of surprised anybody, and that's kind of what brought me out of retirement because I'd been retired. I took 9 years off. I retired in 2014, and this past season was my first season back playing hockey. So it's been a little bit of a grind getting back to it, but hopefully this season goes a little better than the last for myself, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, hey, coming out of retirement and then winning the Fed Cup is pretty.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. Um, so last one here. So coming out of retirement, you're clearly back in the game. Did I hear that you're trying to go to an ECHL team? And what's your future in hockey?
Yeah, so I mean, it kind of just depends. I mean, right now I'm pretty settled in Danbury, so I'll end up back here in Danbury. That's like kind of where I'm at. I don't really have much intention to go anywhere else. I'm gonna go to camp, this ECHL camp. We'll announce it on like October 1st. They're kind of keeping it under their hat. And then I'll go down to camp, probably play a couple exhibition games and then come back to Danbury. And then, maybe I go back and forth a little bit during the season, but I got roots here in Danbury and I'm not really planning on bouncing too quick. I kind of want to stay here for a little bit, but who knows? Maybe in the future I might go down there. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but kind of just playing it by one step at a time. I got some stuff going on here with AJ as far as like a podcast we're starting, and we got a studio and stuff like that. So once all that stuff goes, don't really want to leave yet.
Yeah, it's the Bad Boys, right? Bad
Yeah, we're
Boys
doing
Club?
it's called Trash Talk. Yeah.
Gosh, yeah. Um, I think Dallard he made the logo, correct? Yeah. Did he make that logo?
He made a logo. He made my Diamond Hands logo actually.
Oh wow.
So yeah. Yeah, he made my logo, which is super cool. We were on a road trip and he's super talented, that kid. I was surprised how quick he did it. So pretty cool. Yeah.
Great guy. He's pretty awesome. Had some great.
He's a beast.
He is. He's a scary guy too.
Yeah.
Having both of you guys on a team is not good for the other team. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's Danbury hockey. That's the goal, right? Try and throw our weight around a little bit.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna episode 23 here. Thanks for having you on here, man. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, you got like 1 second? I'm gonna stop the recording here.
Yeah.